My cherished child, before you scroll, before the moment passes, pause. This night carries more than lights, carols, or gifts. It holds a whisper from eternity calling to you. I stepped into your world in fragile form, not to be a memory, but to be with you now. Yes, you, the one I've watched cry in silence and hope in secret. You don't need to earn my attention, I'm already near. But you must not delay, because what I'm about to reveal will anchor your soul, awaken your spirit, and remind you of the love that crossed heaven just to reach your heart. Stay, listen, let this moment change everything. Let your heart be still for just a moment, set apart from the bustle of preparation and the swirl of thoughts. Take a slow, calming breath, and with each inhale, remember that I am far closer to you than you realize, longing to infuse your spirit with warmth and assurance. Yes, my beloved one, I always have been and I always will be. Before the stars lit up the heavens, I knew you by name. I spoke your existence into the boundlessness of eternity, delighting in the person you would become. There is a sacredness about this night, the hush that falls across the earth as countless hearts turn toward the marvel of Christmas. It feels as though the air itself hums with the promise of hope. Even if your day has been filled with clamor or your mind is fogged by worry, let yourself sink into the truth that I dwell outside of time. Yet I choose to step into it freely to be with you. At the unfolding of the heavens and the formation of the earth, I was there. And in this holy moment, I stand with you still. Receive my voice, not as a far-off echo, but as a gentle stirring within the depths of your heart. I am the everlasting one, yet I choose to make my home in human hearts. I reign beyond the cosmos, yet I lean in close, ready to speak to you. May that fill you with awe, knowing you matter to me more than you can comprehend. Tonight, as the world grows still to remember my birth in Bethlehem, know that I whisper your name with the same clarity I used to call forth life from the void at creation's dawn. Recognize that I have no boundaries, no limitations, no restraints. I exist beyond all ages, eras, and generations, this one included, bright with lights and carols. Amid all this wonder, my deepest desire is to meet you intimately, here and now. I long for you to feel my nearness as tangibly as a chill in the evening air. Let your heart echo the understanding that I am no mere story of the season, but the love that gives Christmas meaning. You may feel unworthy of my attention or doubt that my concern for you could run so deep. But hear this, from the start, I fashioned every part of you with precision. You were never an afterthought. You have always dwelled at the center of my heart. My faithfulness does not waver based on your actions or inaction. Like a devoted parent holding a newborn, I cradle you tenderly, every hope, every tear. Tonight, let that truth sink in. More than anything, I desire to be close to you, no matter what burdens you carry. Indeed, I am the eternal voice calling across the gulfs of time, but I am also the soft whisper in your soul. Listen as I speak peace into your worries. You are never alone. Let my calming reassurance flow over you. I have a plan for your well-being. You don't have to grasp every twist and turn along the way. It is enough to trust that I hold your tomorrows. My vision for you spans far beyond the immediate. Even though the darkness may feel heavy, my light waits to guide your next step. Think of the familiar manger scene, the helpless infant, the guiding star, and the hush of that holy night. This story offers a glimpse into my heart for you. I chose to become small and vulnerable so you could truly sense my humility and closeness. Even when your life feels fragile, even when doubt threatens to overpower you, remember, I took on human frailty willingly, showing that no struggle is too minor for my concern. I see your longings and the weariness deep within. Let me be the strength that sustains you. As you pause and reflect this evening, recall the many ways I have already woven threads of goodness into your life story. The warm kindness of a friend, the long-awaited breakthrough, or the subtle comfort in simply being here, breathing, with hope in the distance. Each of these is my voice, reminding you of my nearness. Sometimes the most profound miracles aren't broadcast for all to hear. but realized quietly in the awareness that I've been walking alongside you the entire time. My beloved child, open your heart to the possibility of communion with me on the deepest level. In the tapestry of your life, every thread, both luminous and dark, can be woven into something remarkable if you trust me to guide the loom. Offer me your disappointments, regrets, and lofty dreams, and in exchange, I give you a fellowship not confined by time. Our conversation need never cease. Whether in the bright hours of triumph or the murkiness of confusion, my voice still softly speaks. I am with you. I am for you. In this sacred lull before Christmas Day, allow yourself to rest in my unending presence. Let each moment that draws closer to dawn become more than a countdown in hours. Let it be a journey toward deeper intimacy with me. Listen, truly listen, to the hush in your spirit. My spirit is moving there, ready to pour out comfort, joy, and purpose. I have witnessed your struggles, your tears, and your hidden moments of wonder. I have applauded your victories and stood by you in defeat. Nothing escapes my notice, and nothing can pry you from my grasp. So find your rest in me tonight. Let go of the demands of the world and your own expectations. You are deeply loved, chosen, and cherished by the one who is without beginning or end. In this very moment, let my peace settle over you like a gentle blanket in the cold. Let each breath remind you that I have always been, I will always be, and I will never cease calling to you. My voice both ancient and near, both powerful and tender. This is my longing, that you embrace the life I breathe into you, surrendering fear and stepping into the fullness of love I extend. May this Christmas Eve usher in a season where doubt is overshadowed by the warming glow of divine companionship, where gratitude replaces anxiety and hope triumphs over uncertainty. For I am here, constant and everlasting, whispering into the secret places of your heart. You are invaluable, and I am yours. I bring your attention now to a humble town called Bethlehem, where a moment of immeasurable importance occurred. Visualize its winding, dusty roads through rolling hills, the clear night sky dotted with silent stars. It was here that I chose to come into the world as a tiny, fragile child, a deliberate act of love, underscoring my heart for all people, whether they dwell in palaces or work unseen in hidden corners of the earth. Selecting such an ordinary place was my way of declaring how priceless even the most overlooked among you are. Picture the stable scene, the steamy breath of animals gathered in a dimly lit shelter, the mingled aroma of hay and the crisp night air. My arrival was not broadcast by earthly kings or celebrated by enormous crowds, but rather introduced by the faint cries of a newborn and murmurs of wonder in the darkness. Such stillness was intentional. I have no need of grand shows to display my might. It was in Bethlehem's quiet night that my light appeared, lighting a pathway of hope for every soul longing for a reality beyond the limits of sight. Reflect on the shepherds, their hands calloused and their faces etched by the weather, steadfastly watching their flocks under a star-filled sky. They weren't scholars or nobility, yet they received the most glorious news. Angels filling the night with exultant praise. These humble workers were the first to witness my birth, proving that I don't gauge anyone's value by their social standing or fame. In their simple duty, they found themselves face to face with the miraculous. The next time you feel too small for greatness, remember the shepherds. Understand that I am just as willing to reveal my wonders to those who remain open-hearted, no matter how unremarkable their day-to-day may seem. Then consider the angel's proclamation. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace to those on whom his favor rests. Their song echoed my heart across the whole cosmos. I came to deliver peace, not a shallow calm, but a reassurance that delves into the innermost aches of the soul. Despite the turmoil in the world, this peace is unshakable, flowing from my boundless love. It gently invites you to leave your worries behind at the manger, certain that I am both infinitely strong and intimately close. The wise men, or magi, offer yet another timeless message. Guided by a shining star across unknown territories, they sought the child who would redefine the fate of every nation. Their gifts, gold, frankincense, and myrrh, hinted at royalty, divinity, and sacrifice. Their lengthy, meandering journey speaks to every seeker of truth. Follow the light I provide, regardless of how distant it seems. My invitation extends across borders and cultures. No one is out of my reach. In Bethlehem, you witness heaven and earth uniting, illustrating my determination to reclaim you for myself. My birth in that humble stable was the beginning of a far grander redemption story. Don't see the manger as merely a cozy scene. It foretells my plan to liberate humanity from sin and despair. I didn't come just to experience the world's sorrows, but to bring healing, lifting burdens you couldn't hope to remove on your own. The star that guided travelers from afar remains a beacon of hope, guiding you through your uncertainties even now. Just as it shone upon Bethlehem's fields, so too can my light illuminate the hidden parts of your heart, offering renewal. By choosing such a modest entrance, I proclaimed my closeness to the humble, the forgotten, and the lost. I was not above any dark corner or unremarkable stage. This truth still matters now. If you ever find yourself in your own sort of Bethlehem, an ordinary place or season, think of my willingness to appear where no one thought to look for greatness. In my kingdom, significance often takes shape in the least expected details. Hand me your everyday tasks and watch as I weave them into a purpose beyond anything you've envisioned. Linger over that stable scene, the dancing glow of a lamp, a mother's soft lullaby to her newborn, and the reverence in the eyes of those who gathered. That tableau was not meant to remain an ancient memory. It mirrors my heart for you. If I arrived in such simplicity, can you not trust that I grasp your frailty, your sorrows, and your dreams? My empathy is no abstract idea. It is bound up in every thread of my choosing to become human. The manger confirms my deep connection with your challenges and my joy in your triumphs. Remember, on this night especially, that Bethlehem's gift is far more than a one-time event. It stands as a constant invitation to come nearer, to witness the love that led me to step into history in humble form. Let that image dwell in your heart. Let it remind you that I see you, I care for you, and that you too play a part in the redemptive story I am writing now. Heaven still echoes with the angelic praise, urging you to behold what I have done. As the angels exulted then, so they continue, for my love remains steadfast. My gift of grace spans the ages, crossing every culture, every skepticism you have ever harbored. The baby in the manger would one day become the Savior on the cross, bridging the chasm between everlasting life and your delicate, precious existence. In doing so, I give you an unending mercy, an unfathomable grace, and a hope that outlives any darkness. This is Bethlehem's gift, a love that reimagines your story and draws you into an unbreakable promise. I speak now with a promise so lavish it can alter your perception of both yourself and the world around you. I reside within you. Contemplate that. My spirit choosing to live in the depths of your heart, extending comfort and counsel, both intimately and powerfully. When you read Christ in you, the hope of glory, recognize it as more than a poetic phrase. It is an ever-present truth. I am not watching you from a distance. Rather, I've chosen your heart as my dwelling, walking with you through life's joys and struggles. Let this settle within you as each day begins. It's easy to feel alone or burdened by responsibilities, but if you pause to breathe and be mindful, you may notice a gentle nudge inside, reminding you that you are never abandoned. I, who conquered death and triumphed over all shadows, stand nearer than your own pulse. My closeness isn't limited to moments of formal worship. It flows through every chore, conversation, and reflection. When you wake in the morning, offer me a simple greeting, acknowledging that we will journey together. Such an awareness fosters a deeper bond between us. You might wonder how to nurture that connection further. It starts with carving out small slivers of time to just be with me. Tiny pauses of surrender in a busy day. as you might pause in amazement at the sunrise or pause to listen to a sudden bird call, so you can pause to catch my whisper within. These quiet intervals need not be long, but they are essential. Every calm moment is a place where your heart and mind commune, and I can softly shape your perspective. Don't be alarmed if changes begin to unfold gently. My spirit loves to rework old narratives of dread or inadequacy, replacing them with hope and certainty. My voice counters the world's harsh judgments with the unwavering truth that you are deeply cherished, summoned to live by grace rather than self-reliance. Over time, you might see hints of how I move, not only in you but through you, fostering peace, compassion, and reconciliation in circumstances once filled with discord. When worries loom, recall that you hold a source of hope stronger than any obstacle. Anxiety need not convince you that life's burdens are yours to bear alone. My spirit is ready to give you strength, clarity, and solace, though I never force my help on you. It remains your choice to welcome me in. Open up, share your concerns, and watch how I take you forward step by step. At times, you'll sense my direction as a spontaneous idea or gentle conviction, steering you away from destructive paths. At other times, I'll fill you with a peace beyond explanation. Think of the early disciples, nervous and unsure until I assured them I would send the Comforter. Their hearts ignited with hope. That very same promise is yours to hold. My Spirit's presence is as active now as it was then. I haven't left you to solve life's puzzles alone. I have equipped you with my own life, just as I stilled angry seas with a command, so I continue to quiet the turbulence in your mind. Let me remind you of my unwavering love when chaos threatens your peace. Incorporate simple prayers into your day. Lord, show me how you view this. Teach me to respond with your kindness. Help me rest even under a storm of demand. Such honest pleas draw your heart into harmony with mine. You'll find yourself more patient, more caring, more confident in my guiding hand, even when the answers look different from what you expected. In time, you'll develop an eagerness to see how I might intervene. Every ordinary moment can transform into a sacred experience. In quiet moments, invite yourself to dream alongside me. Envision your life's potential, not as a solitary endeavor, but as a divine collaboration. My spirit marries your abilities and your passions to goals that surpass earthly constraints. A gentle inner tug might prompt you to reach out to someone in distress, share a word of consolation, or revisit a dream you once dismissed as impossible. My presence empowers you to carry my love into even the simplest tasks, be it answering emails, driving to work, or caring for a family member. Every motion can be an act of devotion when you walk alongside me. Remember, this hope I give you is no fragile wish. It's anchored in my victory, declaring that darkness does not hold the final verdict. Christ in you, the hope of glory, announces my ongoing work of renewal from within, priming your heart for an eternal reality. Yes, hardships remain a reality of this life, but brokenness is not your story's end. My spirit inside you is the earnest of a coming glory, an assurance that one day all shall be restored. Even now, you're invited to taste glimpses of that promised future through the joy and tranquility that I pour into your life. So press on with quiet confidence, my child. Let my life within you serve as your guiding star, your compass in uncertain territory. When discouragement creeps in, never forget that you carry far more than your own perseverance. You carry my spirit, who will never abandon you. As you embrace this truth, you'll shine like a beacon for others, a testimony that love still walks the earth through souls surrendered to me. Today, inhale deeply. Open your soul's doors wide, allowing my presence to fill every space. This is the essence of Christ in you, the hope of glory. Let it reshape your identity, your deeds, and your aspirations, for this truth holds the power to transform every facet of your life. I speak to you now, echoing the timeless call once carried by desert winds. Prepare the way for the Lord, make straight paths for Him. This charge is everlasting yet intimately personal, inviting you to remove the distractions cluttering your spirit. In a world heavy with obligations and noise, it is easy for my voice to be hushed or nearly drowned out. Still, I long to meet you in the quiet depths of your soul, rekindling vitality and delight in a faith that might have grown tangled in routine. Pause now and let these words settle. Prepare the way. They suggest an active role, a proactive clearing and readiness for something sacred. Picture your life as a garden that must be tended. Weeds of distraction can smother the blossoms of devotion if you allow them to run wild. To invite my presence, you must recognize these weeds, habits, worries, or pursuits that detach you from a vibrant relationship with me. Start with honest introspection. How do you spend your hours, and where does your mind wander most often? If you realize your energy is consumed by fears or trivialities, be encouraged. Recognizing the clutter is the first step toward uprooting it. I don't ask for perfection, just a humble heart that says, I'm ready to be cleansed. In the days of John the Baptist, people hurried to the Jordan River, confessing their wrongs and aching for a fresh start. They perceived that welcoming my arrival required genuine reorientation of their lives. True repentance, turning away from old patterns and toward a new direction, unlocked an entirely new connection with me. Likewise, as you spot your unnecessary baggage, bitter grudges, lingering guilt, or useless shame, allow me to wash them away. Don't cling to them out of routine or fear. Release them into my care, believing that I have both the might to handle them and the gentleness to guide you onward. Removing distractions isn't about depriving you of pleasure, but about freeing you to take hold of what is best. Chasing fleeting thrills often leaves your soul undernourished, longing for greater depth but uncertain where to find it. By intentionally preparing your heart through repentance and focusing your attention, you open yourself to my Spirit, who will breathe fresh life into those places that have grown stale. Visualize standing by a flowing creek, watching leaves drift away. Let your anxieties and diversions float off, carried by my mercy. In the space that remains, my tranquility and clarity will find a home. By readying your heart in this manner, you cultivate an expectancy for my handiwork in your life. Think of how you might prepare for a cherished friend, tidying your house and awaiting their arrival with eagerness. In the same way, spiritual preparation primes you to notice my involvement. You might detect my influence in a casual chat, in a sudden spark of understanding, or in a wave of calm that defies logic. Clearing the way creates a stage for a sacred meeting, just as open hearts once encountered me when I dwelled among you in the flesh. Yet there is more to the process than merely uprooting hindrances. You also must sow seeds of devotion and discipline, encouraging steady growth. When you remove distractions, fill that space with prayer, reflective reading, or stillness. Let your spirit inhale in such moments of pause, giving me room to speak through silence. Like John the Baptist's teaching that emphasized not just forsaking sin, but also embracing a higher path, clearing away life's debris invites fresh blossoms of faith, new perspectives, deeper empathy, and a love that overflows into caring for others with sincerity. Don't be demoralized if progress is gradual or if the same diversions reappear. A heart, like a garden, needs continual tending. Weeds can sprout again, but with every instance of awareness and renewal, the soil of your spirit grows richer. Remind yourself that I am profoundly patient. I am not disillusioned by your human frailty. I celebrate every small stride you take in my direction. Even if you stumble, my grace is ever ready to lift you, placing you back on track. Often, a calm, enduring process is where the clearest transformations emerge. As you discover the liberation that flows from single-minded devotion, you'll see fresh evidence of my involvement throughout your ordinary life. Dawn will speak of my faithfulness. Workplace tasks will become moments of silent prayer, and relationships will find deeper unity as you let my love guide you. Over time, you'll notice how each time you say yes to me, each instance of discarding the unimportant, your capacity for joy and trust expands. Your perspective shifts because you've made room for me, and I never take that welcome for granted. John's words still resonate. Prepare the way. This readiness begins with a heart that's willing and ends in a jubilant anticipation of my presence. My desire is for you to experience the abundant life I promised, not through material prosperity, but through overwhelming peace and purpose as you keep step with me. Treat each new day as another chance to create space, letting go of distractions and disappointments, and inviting the transforming work of my Spirit. In so doing, you mirror Mary's heart, making space for a miracle, and the modest stable in Bethlehem, which, small as it was, became the cradle for the greatest gift of all. So come, prepare the way with confident hope. Straighten the paths in your heart, clearing away anything that mutes my voice. Trust that in your quiet surrender, I will speak. In your yielding, I will move, and in your openness, I will reveal the depths of my love. This isn't merely a one-time resolution, but an ongoing call to let every moment of life become a deliberate act of readiness. I am the Lord who draws near, whose voice will not be silenced by chaos, and who delights in coming close to those who make room for me. I speak now of a marvel so vast that it can alter your every notion. I chose to take on a human body, stepping into the same frailty and delight you experience. This was no idle gesture. It was a deliberate decision, born of my deep love. I saw your world's shattered places, the loads you carry, and how fear had widened the gap between us. I bridged that gap, not just with high declarations, but by joining the tapestry of everyday life. By becoming human, I revealed that I am not some detached deity, but a companion walking at your side, sharing in each hardship and triumph. Envision the delicacy of a newborn in a manger. The one who shaped galaxies arrived in a vulnerable, dependent form. It may seem to you an unfathomable lowering of status, but I embraced it with eagerness. By becoming an infant, I demonstrated the breadth of my humility, a humility that still reaches for you in your struggles, your whys, and your doubts. No tear falls without my notice. No smile is overlooked. I know the subtleties of human emotion firsthand. When grief pressed heavily on me, I openly wept. When faced with the loss of a friend, my sorrow was genuine. When I took part in celebrations and shared meals with dear ones, my joy was unfeigned. I don't just witness your emotions, I have lived them. Through my earthly life, I revealed a God who doesn't shrink back from this world's failings. I trekked dusty roads, drew near to those cast out, and soothed the sorrowful, showering mercy without limit. I made it evident that no human being is too small to escape my attention. If you doubt whether your wounds are too deep or your remorse too severe, remember how I willingly immersed myself in humanity's pain. It wasn't theater, it was genuine. My hands touched the diseased, and my ears heard the cries of the desperate. My voice brought hope to those who believed they were beyond rescue. The miracle of incarnation also speaks to the mending of a fractured relationship. Long ago, your bond with me was strained by fear, guilt, and misunderstanding. People chased numerous paths, rituals, offerings, moral laws, but the gulf persisted. Rather than demand more from you, I closed the distance personally, coming from the side of divinity. By fully embracing your form, I experienced the hardships you face daily, and I took on the burdens that once drove us apart. Eventually, my path led to the cross, that pinnacle of surrender where I bore the weight of wrongdoing no person could bear alone. This was foreshadowed by the softly crying infant in the manger, and completed with the anguished cry from the cross. Think of the enormity of such a mystery, God entering humanity. It upends every standard understanding of glory and success. In the hush of Bethlehem's night, divinity took on fragile flesh, unnoticed by royal processions, only the muted marvel of onlookers. I embraced that lowly stage to testify to my love for the neglected and forgotten. The Incarnation proclaimed that no place is too meager, no life too ordinary for my presence. If you ever feel inconsequential or unheard, remember that I once nestled in a manger, showing the world that genuine worth often lies in unexpected corners. Growing from infancy to adulthood, I exemplified heaven's majesty fusing with earth's grit. I knew the weight of physical labor, the ache of weary muscles, and the unguarded laughter with beloved companions. By committing to a fully human life, I displayed just how determined I am to understand your every experience. Let this settle when you confront adversity, when sorrow overcomes you, or when hardships threaten to steal your peace. I don't simply observe your pain. I recall the anguish in my own soul during betrayal and heartbreak. My empathy isn't remote. It is born of shared experience. Each encounter I had with the sick, the outcasts, the young, and even my detractors was a living demonstration of grace in action. These weren't staged performances, but authentic expressions of my longing to restore the broken. If you ever question my willingness to forgive, look at how I touched the untouchable and embraced the shunned. In my coming to earth, I declared that no injury remains unhealed, no wrongdoing lies outside the bounds of my mercy, and no scars beyond my healing hand. I didn't isolate myself from suffering. I dove straight into it, showing a love that withstands even the bitterness of rejection. But the incarnation isn't only about confronting sorrow, it's also about unfading hope. By becoming man, I breathed my promise into the human story that every ending could be a fresh beginning. Where people saw merely a carpenter's son, I wielded power over the wind, raised the dead, and breathed life into barren hearts. And when the world said it was finished, pinning me to a cross, I transformed that crushing scene into the greatest victory ever known. That same power is accessible to you now. My spirit lives with you and in you, reminding you that darkness is never final, that no difficulty is unbeatable, that no fractured place must remain so. The reach of my love is more expansive than you can fathom. My choice to step into human form announces my readiness to enter into every form of need. I entered this world through poverty, journeyed without a permanent roof, and was met with both reverence and ridicule. In every situation, I answered with boundless compassion, proving that my favor doesn't rest on privilege or status. It doesn't matter where you find yourself, a lavish estate or a hidden alleyway. I see you, longing to draw near. Every heart that beats can be a place I call home. As you remember my birth, let it stir in you a sense of sacred awe. Understand that I came this way to heal the rift between us, restoring unafraid, unhindered fellowship with me. The manger in Bethlehem was no mere symbol. It was the dawn of redemption. It painted a portrait of a God so enthralled by his children that he laid aside heavenly splendor to enfold them in compassion. Even now, my arms extend toward you, urging you to let this reality pierce deeper than any fear or doubt. In the incarnation, I dismantled every wall, declaring that you are worth the greatest sacrifice. Allow the duality of my humanity and divinity to transform your vision. You are not meandering through life invisible or unloved. You hold infinite worth to the one who feels every pang and every hope in your heart. My becoming human continues to echo across the eras, calling you to seek restoration. As you ponder this truth, let it guide you to a richer communion with me, so that you may pour out this love onto a world craving it. Indeed, the incarnation stands as the fullest revelation of my heart. A heart committed to releasing you from isolation into the fullness of an everlasting joy. I speak once more to highlight a marvel so vast it changes your view of yourself, of the world, and even of me. The profound mystery of my incarnation. Picture the limitless nature of my being, eternal and unbounded, and then consider how I chose to wrap myself in the same fragile flesh you wear. This wasn't a fleeting display, but a purposeful act of stepping into every layer of human existence. Why would I do this? Because nothing else could assure you more powerfully that you are never alone, that I truly see you and hold you close in love. From the beginning, when I first spoke galaxies into form, I watched over creation, yet I refused to remain an observer from some distant throne. I longed for the day I could walk at your side, face the rhythms of life with you, and demonstrate my love in a manner you could fully sense. And so I stepped into history, taking on all the fullness of human feeling: happiness, sorrow, tiredness, laughter, the warmth of companionship, the cut of betrayal. If you ever question whether I truly grasp your deepest pain, your quiet joys, or your unvoiced hopes, remember I have felt them all. When weariness wears you down, I recall my own fatigue. When unexpected blessings thrill you, I recall the joy I felt seeing lives touched by truth. My choice to dwell on earth was not a mere gesture of empathy, but the pathway to restoring what had been lost. The alienation that crept in between us over the centuries, rooted in guilt, fear, and brokenness, required more than human attempts to overcome. Rather than insist you come to me, I crossed the divide myself. By embracing your human form, I not only tasted life's daily challenges, but also lifted the burdens that once held you apart from me. At length, my road led me to the cross, where I carried the weight of sin none could handle alone, fulfilling the redemption my birth foreshadowed. Yet my incarnation also proclaimed a hope too strong for darkness to snuff out. In a modest Bethlehem stable, amid poverty and obscurity, a spark of promise was lit that still shines today. The world's notions of dominance and power were turned on their heads by a baby in a feed trough, a child fated to conquer even death. Whenever you feel stuck in a situation too big to change, hold fast to this truth. I have confronted the impossible before, and I will do so again. My presence brings renewal, able to speak life into every dry place. Moreover, my incarnation displays a love beyond reason. Some may wonder why I didn't arrive in kingly pomp, commanding worship from every land. Such a spectacle might have grabbed minds, but not hearts. Instead, I came without fanfare, easy to miss by those fixated on magnificence, yet utterly visible to those humble enough to check a manger. True love is patient and kind, leading by invitation rather than compulsion. I chose to be born a helpless infant, reliant on human care to reveal a tenderness so bold it echoes through eternity. As you dwell on this miracle, recognize it is not merely historical. It remains an active force shaping your reality. That same compassion and identification with your struggles extends to you each time you kneel in prayer. You speak not to someone aloof, but to a confidant who intimately grasps human trials. I fully understand every temptation, every sting of exhaustion, every longing for solace. I am not deceived about the hardships you endure. I meet them with open arms. My approach to you is not from a superior distance, but from the nearness of a friend who walked in your shoes and yearns to lighten your load. Let this truth fall gently into your heart. My incarnation was my ultimate affirmation of your worth, proof that every aspect of your being matters. By wearing human flesh, I honored your essence. Your existence is no random event. My very willingness to shoulder your mortality declares that every detail, body, mind, and spirit, holds infinite value to me. No piece of your ordinary existence is too small for my interest, no question too insignificant for my wisdom, no flaw beyond my healing grace. I urge you to linger on this wonder often, particularly when you feel distant from me or hope feels thin. Recall how I chose a humble place to be born, how I journeyed among the cast aside, endured betrayal, and overcame the crushing power of death. My incarnation stands as a call to realize that I am profoundly near, closer than your own breath, in every moment of your life story. Let it redefine how you view yourself and transform the manner you extend compassion to others. If I, the creator of all that is, did not think it beneath me to join in your human condition, surely you can muster the courage to show mercy, kindness, and tolerance wherever your influence reaches. May this unimaginable miracle stir a willingness in you to give grace, first to yourself, trusting I have redeemed you, and then to others, mirroring the love I so freely offer. In these quiet reflections, recall that the manger wasn't the end of my earthly presence, but the beginning of a life devoted to restoring lost hearts. Even now I draw near to impart love that can pierce deeper than any fear or doubt. In my incarnation, every barrier fell, announcing to the universe that you are supremely treasured. Take in the balance of my humanity and deity and let it recast your viewpoint. You do not drift unseen, unloved. You are held dearly by the one who knows every twist of your emotions and your dreams. My stepping into flesh continues to echo across history, urging you to embrace renewal. Ponder this truth until it nudges you into closer fellowship with me, overflowing into a world aching for love. Indeed, the incarnation stands as the pinnacle of my heart's revelation, a heart resolute in lifting you out of your isolation and into everlasting joy. I speak to you now about a treasure surpassing all human grasp, the peace I offer, which transcends all comprehension. This peace is not rooted in your external circumstances, nor does it crumble in adversity. It wells up from my very essence, flowing into your heart when you choose to trust me. People often view peace as a cessation of conflict or the resolution of disagreements. The peace I extend cuts far deeper. It remains present in chaos, steadying your soul amid life's fiercest storms. Observe how transient worldly peace can be. Agreements are made and broken, and a sense of safety fades the instant a fresh worry arises. Yet my peace stands in firm contrast to these fragile foundations. Born from my eternal love and sovereignty, it remains unshaken by any force. I see every facet of your life, each doubt, every longing, and every lingering question. Even as you grapple with uncertainty, my peace readies itself to guard your heart and mind like a sentry. To receive it, I invite you to place your anxieties in my care. Loosen your grip on the worries you've carried and hand them over to me. Understand that I do not disregard your troubles, but am fully prepared to shoulder them on your behalf. Visualize yourself opening your hands and letting your burdens slip away, trusting me to bear you up. Surrender can feel risky, especially when difficulties loom. But remember, I am neither caught off guard nor overwhelmed by what troubles you. My view stretches beyond the moment, and my power transcends every outcome. Rest in the assurance that I can weave good from any circumstance, even those you can't yet decipher. You may wonder how to cultivate this reliance in practical terms. One simple step is to carve out moments of stillness each day, even brief intervals where you hush external and internal noise to focus on me can soothe racing thoughts. Sometimes, a few deep breaths followed by a prayer of surrender is enough to shift your mind from dread to my nearness. Making a habit of these little rests trains your soul to recall that you don't face life alone. Over time, you'll notice how my peace takes root more quickly, following you even when busyness overtakes your schedule. Another way to anchor yourself in my peace is to lean into my promises. Scripture is filled with assurances of my faithfulness and care, serving as lifelines when storms threaten to overturn your peace. Take my words into your heart. Let them calm your unrest. When life challenges you, remember, I am the one who never leaves you, never forsakes you, never fails to keep a promise. Surrounding your thoughts with these divine truths creates fertile ground for peace to flourish, giving doubt nowhere to hide. Also, learn to differentiate genuine concerns from fear-fueled imaginings. Your mind often rushes toward worst-case scenarios that may never unfold. These fears weigh you down, robbing your strength and obscuring my peace. When you catch this pattern, pause and ask me for clarity. I will help you spot what truly needs your attention and what is just the echo of anxiety. Practicing such discernment daily frees you from the stranglehold of what-ifs and allows you to rest, certain that I oversee your tomorrows. Know that my peace should not be mistaken for a carefree existence. Every person faces adversity in a broken world. Still, my peace endures as a stable ally. Rather than erasing every obstacle, I walk beside you, inviting you to watch how my grace reshapes even the darkest times. The outcome might not always match your early hopes, and the process may be slow, but trust that I work for your ultimate good. My peace reassures you of your constant belonging. When worry shakes your core, that trembling can prompt you to draw closer, where I enfold you in my steadfast security. You'll discover that my peace reverberates to those around you. When you rest in the quiet confidence of my enduring love, you transform how you interact with others. Your words grow gentler, your patience deepens, and your compassion widens. In conflicts, you can offer a conciliatory spirit grown from faith rather than fear. This won't remove disagreements from your path, but it empowers you to respond graciously. My peace within you becomes a light shining in turmoil, guiding others toward the real source of refuge. I want you to understand that walking in this peace isn't a one-and-done triumph, but a continuous posture of trust. You'll need to release your anxieties repeatedly, day after day. Each sunrise brings new reasons to fret, new obstacles that appear unscalable. But each morning also ushers in a renewed opportunity to rest in me again. Find hope in this repeated cycle. It's part of forging a stronger bond with me. The more you rely on my promises, the more swiftly your heart returns to rest. Above all, remember that my peace is a precious gift, freely given. It isn't reserved for the flawless or the extraordinarily faithful, but flows from who I am, the Prince of Peace, who longs to mend your wounds and cradle your fears. I stand ready to draw you into a rest that holds firm, even when all else quakes. Let this comfort travel to the core of your being. You are protected, beloved, and held securely by the one who is forever for you. No hardship can loosen my grip on your life. Settle into this reality, letting my peace shield your heart now and always. Let me speak of a posture beyond intellectual prowess, a childlike trust that brims with wonder. Consider the shepherds who instantly acted on what angels announced, or the wise men who chased the glow of a lone star. They possessed neither detailed explanations nor absolute knowledge, yet their hearts pulsed with anticipation. In that same spirit, I invite you to release cynicism and allow curiosity and hope to lead you. Childlike faith doesn't deny the facts of life. It brings brightness and eagerness that shield the heart from growing calloused. When you shift your mindset toward wonder, daily moments regain a fresh magic. Each sunrise becomes a heavenly gift. Each gentle breeze, my whisper, even life's smaller gifts, like a kind word from a friend, spark gratitude that heightens your awareness of my presence. Think of a toddler's first steps, each one an adventure and a triumph. In much the same way, each new day offers you a step of faith, each building on the last. I'm not asking you to ignore challenges, but to see them through the lens of hope, trusting that I stand by to guide and uphold you. This posture brings a joyful expectancy about what I might do next. Children see no boundary as insurmountable. By allowing such openness, you align yourself with my heart, which delights in offering good gifts and unveiling fresh pathways. Though your past may urge caution, I encourage you to believe my love transcends every disappointment. Even in times of uncertainty, recall how I led the wise men across foreign lands by a simple star. In the same way, I will illuminate your path, step by step, if you fix your gaze on me. Part of childlike faith is embracing that you do not need every answer. Children admit their dependence without shame, trusting that someone bigger and wiser will come through. My power, unlike human expectation, is highlighted in that humility. By discarding self-reliance, you make room for my might to meet you in your frailty. Indeed, in your weakness, my strength finds its perfect expression, not because I revel in your limitations, but because I can show my care all the more vividly when you let go of pride. You may ask how to cultivate childlike trust in a world that seems determined to build walls around hearts. One practical step is to foster reverent awe. Let yourself be amazed at my handiwork in nature. Whether you study the elegant veins of a leaf or the vast spread of the night sky, each intricate detail speaks of my attentive care, a steady assurance that I hold the universe together, including the knots in your own life. When you choose reverence, you quiet the cynic that insists everything is random, preparing your spirit to embrace deeper truths I long to share. Another step is to acknowledge that eternity is your real horizon. Children often thrive in the moment, free from tomorrow's concerns. I invite you not just to rest in each present second, but also to keep an eye on the everlasting life awaiting you beyond this mortal realm. Setting your struggles against the expanse of eternity reduces their weight. Like a traveler passing briefly through a storm, you recognize these troubles can't overshadow the radiance of forever. This broader view loosens the hold of emergencies that are merely temporary. Understand, too, that childlike wonder doesn't erase sorrow. Even children mourn and shed tears when something dear is taken or damaged. I'm not telling you to gloss over your pain, but to invite me into it with the same pure faith that cries, "Please help." Those two words, offered earnestly, welcome my comfort and healing. When you weep, I stand at your side, just as I stood with the weary and the broken in my earthly days. Tears do not signal doubt, but a heart longing for my presence to redeem what feels lost. Gratefulness also blossoms from childlike wonder. Children rejoice easily over small blessings, and I urge you to practice noticing each grace that touches your life. As you cultivate gratitude, no matter how modest the gift appears, you open yourself more fully to my Spirit's leading. A thankful soul crowds out the gloom of resentment, leaving more space for hope to grow. Reflect on the shepherds who had little wealth but were filled with joy at the good news of my birth, to the extent that they shared it enthusiastically. By reclaiming a childlike stance, you unburden yourself from pretense. Children generally don't pose to impress. They simply speak their needs and questions plainly. I welcome your honesty, your uncertainties, your frustrations, your deep-seated desires. True conversation with me builds a bond rooted in authenticity, not a mask. In that raw truth, my grace overflows, covering every flaw and apprehension. Above all, as you adopt an eternal viewpoint, brimming with possibility, you unite your heart with mine. Think of the wise men who bowed reverently and the shepherds who spread my name in excited awe. Their legacies remain because they exemplify the essence of wholeheartedly trusting me. Whether you stand at the start of a new venture or in the thick of life's messiness, I see you, I adore you, and I'm eager to guide you into a more profound experience of my love. Hold fast to that childlike wonder, clinging to hope as a child holds a prized possession. Doing so will reveal that your frailties are like a canvas on which I paint my unwavering power. Let me speak of a reality so transformative that it shifts how you see yourself, the world, and even me, the new life birthed in you by my Spirit. When I walked the earth, I proclaimed a kingdom unlike worldly empires, one defined by renewed hearts and a steadfast belonging. Through my sacrifice, this kingdom's gates swung open for you to step into a new identity. You are more than just a wanderer in a fallen realm. You are my child, reborn with a future intertwined with my eternal design. Consider your old ways, the regrets, the guilt, the fears. They no longer have to define you. The moment you surrendered and embraced my love, something awoke in you, far beyond a mere behavioral shift. A flame was lit deep inside, illuminating the truth that you are not simply the outcome of past mishaps or current setbacks. By my grace, you began seeing yourself through a fresh lens, not discarded or chained by despair, but shining with the worth inherent to one cherished by the Almighty. In taking on this identity, you enter a lineage far greater than any earthly ancestry. For centuries, people of faith have walked comparable roads, sometimes stumbling, yet always attracted by my Spirit to a higher purpose. You stand among them, woven into a family whose reach outlasts cultures and epochs. Each one carries my image, shaped with love, destined to mirror my nature in a world longing for it. Embrace this. Your place in my kingdom is not an empty title, but a living truth that redefines your vision and aims. You might ask what this identity looks like in practical terms. It starts with realizing you belong here, irreversibly. There is a seat for you at my table, a room in my household. Even if you feel rejected or unseen in other circles, my door remains open. Grasping this changes how you face adversity. No longer does every setback feel like evidence of rejection. You begin to perceive it as a stage for my grace to shine even brighter. Failure is no final sentence, but a prompt to rely more on me, finding new redemption at every turn. Let the wonder of this rebirth color how you understand your worth. Society values achievements, appearances, and the fleeting praise of others. Your real value, however, stems from the one who masterminded the galaxies, yet calls you by name. My fingerprints mark your thoughts, your heart, and even your dreams. You represent a one-of-a-kind expression of divine creativity. No one else can replicate the gifts, past experiences, and ambitions I placed within you. Let this shatter any lie suggesting your life is accidental or irrelevant. To align your life with this kingdom identity, allow me to guide you in uncovering the distinct mission I've designed for you. It's not restricted to a single occupation or job. It touches every part of life: friendships, community involvement, personal development, charitable deeds. Each conversation or decision can shine with my love. When you surrender daily, you welcome my spirit to shape your words and deeds, reflecting the compassion, bravery, and humility that mark my kingdom. This is not a passive path. It calls for diligent openness, a willingness to see each sunrise as a sacred invitation. Keep in mind, this rebirth isn't just a standalone event. It's the onset of a lifelong pilgrimage. As a newborn requires careful tending, so your spiritual life needs conscious cultivation. Anchor yourself in the words I've spoken through Scripture. Let them inform your thoughts and refine your character. Seek my voice in prayer, not as a box to check, but as authentic connection. Surround yourself with others who share this faith journey, so you can challenge, nurture, and celebrate one another's growth. By doing so, you root yourself firmly in truth, building a defense against the voices seeking to undermine who you are in me. In discovering your kingdom identity, also cling to the pulse of eternity within you. Life here is only a blink compared to the forever I've prepared for those who love me. Hardships can appear crushing, yet they pale in comparison to the glory still to be revealed. Each act of devotion, each moment of kindness, each expression of worship resonates into the everlasting, weaving together a design that outstrips your immediate view. One day, you'll see how the simplest step of obedience carried weight you never imagined. Above all, I urge you not to settle for a watered-down version of yourself. It's all too easy to measure yourself against others or yield to society's molds. Such comparisons mask the unique calling I've placed on you. Stand firm in the freedom I purchased for you. Let your heart dare to love deeply, serve with all you have, and dream without fear. When self-doubt insists you're too flawed or unworthy, answer with the truth. You have been spiritually reborn into my unshakable kingdom. Walk onward in this new life, reassured that I walk with you each step of the way. If you stumble, don't shrink back in shame. Hasten to my side. I am always close by, prepared to pick you up. When you taste success, remember to praise the one who paved this road for you. And at all times, permit my spirit to breathe through you, reminding you that you're no longer who you used to be. You are a child of the King, reborn for a life defined by grace, purpose, and a hope that stands beyond measure. May this truth inspire each choice and every word, declaring to the world that you belong to me. Finally, I speak to you with overflowing joy, urging you to let your soul celebrate all I have accomplished and everything I will yet fulfill. Cast off your regrets and apprehensions, placing them safely in my loving hands as you turn your thoughts toward my enduring presence. Each dawn offers another chance to recall my unwavering devotion, to ponder the depth of sacrifice I made to set you free, and to look forward in faith to the wonders I still have planned. Let gratitude shape your prayers, and let worship renew your heart. I take delight in a soul that rejoices in my goodness. Just as once I entered your world, so will I come again. Until that day dawns, I remain with you in every moment, from sunrise's first glow to midnight's hush. Place the past, present, and future into my care, trusting that my love stands unchanging. I beckon you into ongoing fellowship, where your heaviness is exchanged for calm, your fatigue for true rest. Even now, I am preparing a dwelling where everyone who loves me will stay with me for all time. My beloved child, now that you've heard my heart, don't let this be the end of our moment together. Come back often, not out of habit, but because your soul was created for continual communion with me. This channel is not just content, it's a sanctuary where I meet you again and again. Each time you return, I will whisper more peace, unveil more purpose, and anchor you deeper in my love. The world will pull at you, but I will always be here, ready to refresh your spirit, remind you of who you are, and speak to the places others overlook. So subscribe not just with a click, but with your heart. Turn on reminders, not just to catch a video, but to catch my voice calling you back. And share this with someone whose soul is weary, because the light I give you was meant to shine for others too. This is only the beginning. Come back, dwell often, stay open, and watch what I will do in your life. I am with you, and I will meet you here again. Amen.